What's the introduction?
I don't know. What do you want your name to be? You were Riri last time. You still want to be Riri?
That's fine. I
Okay.
don't care. What else are you going to call me?
I don't know. Like,
I don't have any cool nicknames or anything.
we need to get you a cool nickname. Like, what would your cool nickname be?
I don't know. If I knew, then I would have one.
I mean, I call you Queen.
Yeah.
What would your cool nickname be, though? Like,
I legit don't know. If I knew, then I would have a cool nickname. I mean, I always thought Rhi was pretty cool.
I mean, it is pretty cool. So welcome to Damn That's Podcasting. I am one of your hosts, the Obro Owen Brody. And with me is one more time, the lovely Riri. She's
Hello.
waving. I was about to say, she's waving for the audio listeners. Do you actually mind if I just call you Rhi throughout this episode instead of Riri?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. I feel like dropping a Rhi is like, sounds better.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we here to talk about?
I don't know. What are we here to talk about?
I don't know. I just dragged you in here and put a microphone in front of your face and just said, hey, let me hit record for a minute.
Yep.
Pretty much. So last week we had some fun, right? We went on a cruise, our first ever cruise.
We did. So now we're experts and we're going to give tips and tricks.
Hold on.
Advice.
Hold on. You're the expert. In fact, anybody listening and or watching, if you need to book a vacation, just talk to Rhi because she is amazing at it. She booked an amazing Disney trip a few years ago.
I should just be a travel agent at this point.
You really should.
Because we've gone on a whopping one cruise and I do feel like I'm an expert. So,
yeah.
For all your travel needs,
just hit up Riri.
Book me up.
What's Tucker barking at? Hold on, I'm going to fix your microphone real quick. And
welcome
we're back.
To Damn That's Podcasting, and I'm your host.
Oh, you're the host now.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep all the... She doesn't want me to, but I'm going to keep all the opening stuff in because we already did a cool open, I thought. And then we had just like... We had to fix the microphone positioning. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. Now it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about being on a cruise and how Rhi should be a travel agent. And wouldn't it be cool, though, if like you could be a travel agent / travel guide where you get to go on the vacations with people? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be super sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So this was our first cruise ever.
Yep.
We went on Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
And it was a blast.
Yeah, it was Freedom of the Seas was the ship. Before we get into this too much, though, we have some ground rules here.
Oh, there's ground rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
The challenge of the night is...
Oh, boy.
You are not to say the word boat. Because boat is a naughty word in the cruise world. Okay?
So
boats. Hold
on.
on.
I feel like I need to explain myself a little bit.
Let me just tell everyone.
Okay.
Okay? Boats are the little dinky things.
That's
little
a dinghy.
Vessels in the ocean.
A dinghy.
That are small. You know, they're growers, not showers.
Like a dinghy.
Okay? Yeah. Ships are the big dick daddies of the sea. So, just keep that in mind because I guess boat is like, no, that's like a big no-no. You don't refer to the ship as a boat. It's a ship.
Okay, I said boat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I got corrected
a lot.
just about every time. I don't know what was said more? Good morning or boat?
Probably good morning.
Yeah, probably good morning. Every time you walk by a crew member on the ship, they say very enthusiastically, good morning. And the comedian pointed that out too, which was hilarious.
Yeah. I will say that the service is like in another world because we don't see that kind of service anymore.
No.
You know, you walk into a store, it's not like it used to be.
No, what store were we in where it was like scan a QR code and chat with someone to get help on this product? Was that a Target? I feel like
they're
Target,
all slowly doing that.
Yeah, I think it was Target in like the makeup area where it was like scan this and talk with an expert about like it's like why can't I just talk to a person?
Right. Isn't that your job? So like in a world of technology taking over and people not wanting to do their jobs, you know, I can say that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like just no enthusiasm. There's no like motivation there. No one's holding them accountable. Anyway, the cruise world is different, I feel like. They're like really trying hard to like make your vacation make you feel like a queen and a king.
Right.
I felt like a queen.
Yeah, let's look at like our first interaction with anybody. So we got on the ship. Look at me go. We got on the ship way early. Like what, 11? Was it 11 o'clock?
11:30.
11:30. We had lunch reservations at 12:15. 12:30? 12. So we were early for lunch reservations, but we went up there anyway just to kind of check it out. Meanwhile, we're rolling our bags around, and they were like totally fine with us just leaving our bags in the restaurant while we like kind of walked around and checked things out while we waited for our reservation to be ready. And the guy Ray, that was his name, right? Ray?
I believe so.
He said, "Don't worry, you're home now." And I just thought that was like the coolest way to kick off our cruise, was someone just telling us like straight up, "You're home now." Thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone says hello to you. Everyone says good morning.
Yeah.
They just want to make sure that you're having a great time, which I loved and appreciated. I don't know, you just don't have that kind of service anymore.
This is true. And we also, people were very attentive to like picking things up. Like if you had an empty glass, they were like, boom, right there. Or if your glass was empty and you were at a restaurant, they were like right back ready to fill it up. It was awesome.
You know why? Okay. You might have to cut this part out.
Why?
The reason why I feel like the service is so good is obviously these cruise ships have standards. Okay, that's kind of the experience, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're paying for that standard.
It's because all the workers are from other countries.
I don't think that's like bad.
No, I'm not saying that's bad. I don't want to offend anyone here. But us Americans
are rude.
We're rude, and we're like, just...
Oh, we could take some lessons from the
yeah.
Staff
So
on
like,
this
I
cruise
do
ship.
feel like too, like a lot of these countries that they're from, you know, they obviously are working here for a reason, you know, pay opportunities, that kind of stuff. And so I do feel like they're appreciative of being here and being in the position they are. So they're trying their best to be the employee, you know, that they can be. Whereas nowadays, I just feel like, you know, people just don't appreciate their job.
No, I mean, I think like you know, not to get too into like the status of our world, but I do feel like a lot of people we interact with day to day are entitled. They're like, you know, I deserve where I'm at. While these people, I think again, it goes back to the standards though, right? So I think like the standards being higher, like this is what we require of you. This is what we not really demand, because I'm sure it's not like that, but this is what your like bar is. Don't go below that bar. And like I think that's kind of what it is. And like all the people on the cruise ship, a ton of different nationalities, it was amazing. They all looked like they enjoyed their job. And that's the thing, is like you walk into a store now, we're an inconvenience as the customer. Like the one place that I think like I get good service at still is like Starbucks. I feel like they sound like they're happy to be there. They sound like they're having fun. If things are taking too long, you know, like what happened last time, they shot bubbles into the car. They were like, that was kind of fun. Like it was just cool. But like you walk into any other establishment and it's like, oof. Yeah, it's like we're inconveniencing them. Yeah, like I feel sorry, like, did I interrupt you? Even retail though, like since COVID, I feel like retail's changed so much. Not to get off topic from the cruise ship, but retail has turned into like, instead of people like, I remember, you know, when we used to work in retail, it was like you were there to help the customer. Now I feel like it's like the customer knows enough to help themselves. They don't want your help. The retail's kind of embraced they can just look it up mentality, versus like me, even though I can look stuff up, I like to converse with somebody, and the closest that you can get to conversing with somebody now is like YouTube tutorials, like YouTube videos on different products, you know? Right. And I feel like if, you know, you walk into a store, their people that are working are there just to like stock the shelves. Right. Like that's what it seems like. Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. And they're getting paid way more, and I had to work way harder. Oh man, you know, right? Like they're starting. We won't get on that tangent. I remember I was like a supervisor and I was making less than like starting pay now. It's crazy. Well, but I mean, it's different times. Sure. It's different times. It's just wild. But anyways. Back to vacation. Yeah. So the service was great. Tremendous. You know, the chair was pulled out for me every night, which I'm not used to. And they called you Miss Rihanna. Miss Rihanna or ma'am. Yep.
It was great. I had a napkin put in my lap one time. I mean,
yeah,
it was great.
it was awesome.
They were happy. Everyone was happy. We didn't run
Yeah.
into like anyone who was like, you know, like a blah employee.
Right. Yeah, not a single one. Even the guy that like we get towels from every day was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. We had to we get to get ice cream like whenever we wanted. That was pretty cool.
I highly recommend overall. What do we want to do? We want to start from the beginning, pros, cons. What do you want to do? Like day by day, or do you want to just like
I don't know. I mean, there's so much to talk about really when you think about it. Like we had such a good experience. I mean, it was just great to honestly just to wake up and like look outside and see the ocean. Just endless ocean. Like it was so cool.
Well, how about did you have any concerns before you went into this cruise? Like what were your concerns and how did those work out? Because I definitely had like a top like 3 concerns and none of them were a problem, and I feel like they're pretty common.
Yeah. And I feel like we might have some
among people who haven't gone on a cruise.
Would you like to go first or would you like me to?
You can go first. Pick one.
All right, so we'll just, maybe we'll go back and forth.
Sure.
So concern number 1, I was worried about getting seasick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was not a worry. There was I don't think we ever really felt the boat leave. Like
no,
occasionally
I didn't even know it was moving.
Yeah.
Until I looked out the window and we were moving. The ocean was
after we left
by.
After we left Coco Cay, like we got back on the ship. Look at me go. I called it a ship. We got back on the ship and I was like, I remember you saying to me like, "Oh, are we ever going to leave? Like I feel like we're still there." And we looked outside and it was just the ocean. We were nowhere near Coco Cay anymore. Yeah,
every time we didn't know that we were moving. Really. I didn't know that we took off any time.
Right. Occasionally you'd feel like not really even like a vibration. Like I would notice it because we did what old people do and we read a lot. So I'd be reading my Kindle and I'd feel like my Kindle kind of like moving back and forth.
Yeah, very really subtly though. It's not like super noticeable. Subtle. And then the only okay, so to backtrack.
Yes, day 1. I know
day
you're
1, yeah. I really wanted to like see the sail away party. Like they usually do like a big deal like on the pool deck and like just I don't know. I thought it'd be like this grand. I mean, it is kind of like a party kind of thing, but not even so much like the pool party aspect. I just wanted to see like the ship take off for the first time. You know, this was my first cruise. I had no idea what to expect. I thought it'd be this like amazing, cool thing. I don't know what I was expecting, you know? And so we were waiting and waiting and waiting. And that is something I have heard that like the embarkation times, like just it takes forever.
Well, I mean, you think about it, like none of our flights left at the right time.
Yeah. But then also, so we were in the Miami port and there were a couple other cruise ships. I know there was like a Norwegian one. I think there was a couple. There was Carnival and stuff like that.
There were no boats. I'm
pretty sure I'm pretty sure all of those took off, and we were like the last ones. So like the sail away was supposed to be 4:30.
Yeah.
And we booked a massage. I booked a massage for us for 5:30. So I was like, oh, we're gonna have plenty of time. This is perfect. We can go watch the sail away and then like scoot right down and get our massages. Yeah. No, we went into our massages at 5:30 and the ship still hadn't taken off. So it's like a long process.
And while we were in our massages.
Yeah. So then when we're in our massages, nice and relaxed, you know, getting a nice massage, we start hearing vibration like glasses like
yeah, I think and I don't think it was necessarily like I don't think that clinging noise or clanging, it sounded like two like metal pieces like clanging together. I don't think that was necessarily like because the ship was moving so much. I think that was just poor placement of items at the time.
Yeah, no, and well, like the ship has to pull out sideways. It's not just like straight shot. You know, there's like a whole procedure to it. Even when we were coming into the ports like Nassau, you know, we saw one side and then it like kind of like flipped around and backed up. I don't know how they maneuver these ships.
Our comedian said it best. It's like a big floating Tesla. You just press a button and it goes Jamaica.
I think there's a little more to that.
Probably,
but no, it would be interesting. You can get like a tour of the ship on a lot of them. You can get a tour of the ship and like I don't know if you can meet the captain, but it'd be interesting to see like what the control room looks like.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Okay, so our first concern was seasick.
Yeah.
What was your second concern?
Well, I mean, this was kind of irrational, but I'm a very anxious person. So always like the worst case scenarios go through my head. So like sinking the ship, like a Titanic moment.
Right.
But I honestly, like, I thought I'd be more nervous and like thinking about it. And I just didn't think about it much.
So the real question there is, though, would you have made room on the door for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Rose.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I mean, we know that there's enough lifeboats for every passenger on board. That's not a problem.
Right, and they had like a designated spot.
Titanic.
They had a designated spot for you to go.
Right. Yeah, you have to do your muster station. Yeah. So, I just didn't think about, I wasn't as anxious as I thought I would be about like all the different scenarios that would go through my head. It does help that you don't really feel the ship move, so half the time you kind of forget you're on a ship until you like look outside, and there's just so much to do. Like people say they're floating hotels or floating malls. Like that is true.
Yeah.
Once you're in the inside and there's like no windows out and there's the promenade, the restaurants, the theater, like you're just so busy, you're not really like thinking about all those like anxious worries.
Right. I didn't really worry that much like about that, because I feel like you don't really hear like you I think you hear more about like ships getting stuck out there, like not moving, not like sinking though. But yeah. I didn't really like that wasn't
that's my brain
concern.
for you.
That's okay. Everybody's got a fun brain. My second concern, and I said this on the ship, and I think actually you probably know all my concerns. My second concern was I felt like we were going to be in line for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like we were going to be waiting everywhere.
Like Disney.
Right, exactly. Like I thought, okay, well, we're going to go to the buffet for breakfast. It's going to be a madhouse. We're never going to get through. It's going to take forever. That was not a problem. Like the buffet was so spread out, and it was so, I mean, it was disorganized but organized, like because you could just kind of hop into any line and you just got your food and then went and found a table and sat down. And even like at the islands, like we were never waiting for anything.
Yeah,
like,
it's spread out
even to get
quite
food.
A bit. And
Yeah.
I do think that is a big concern too, because these ships hold a lot of people. Like I think ours, so
Right.
ours was a mid-sized ship, Freedom of the Seas. They have massive ones out there, like double, triple the size of the ship we were on, and I thought ours was pretty big, but it's a mid ship. So it holds, I believe, about 3,000 passengers, and I want to say maybe 2,000 to 2,500 crew members. So that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that is.
But I never once felt like there was even near that many people.
No,
because people are spread out. Doing their own thing.
Actually, the only thing we did have to wait for, and we just said screw it, we're gonna walk because we were gonna eat a lot of desserts anyway. Yeah, was the elevators.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's everywhere.
We took the stairs constantly.
Yeah, the stairs weren't bad.
Yeah.
Should we get Freedom of the Seas tattoos?
No.
Oh, okay, just checking, because you seem to like saying that.
What?
Freedom of the Seas.
Did I say it that many times? I just didn't know in case someone wanted to look up like what ship it was.
Oh, it was Freedom of the Seas.
Mm-hmm. By the end of this, you will know. You will have it memorized.
Yes, that it is Freedom of the Seas.
Yeah.
Third concern for you, or second concern? Oh wait, we already did your second concern. What was your third concern?
Well, actually, I don't want to backtrack and be all over the place too much, but to go back to the first one about the seasickness, I still do recommend that people be prepared for that. I'm a planner, so maybe it's just the planner in me saying that. But I had like seasickness medicine. Right. I heard that if you eat green apples, that helps with nausea.
Did we have green apples?
Well, no, we didn't have green apples, but they were readily available at the buffet. True. So I knew, like, if that happens, grab a green apple and down your boning.
Boning?
Boning.
I feel like we can't talk about that on this podcast.
That's the seasickness medicine.
Boning.
Bonine.
Bonine.
I don't know.
Oh, not boning.
Maybe I'm not pronouncing that right, but... and I didn't get the C bands because I was like, okay, we have the medication. I know it works well.
Right.
I don't need to go overboard, but obviously there's that option too. So I would recommend our next one, I'm still going to bring all that stuff with us because it's good to be prepared just in case.
I'm very glad you didn't go overboard.
Me too.
Get it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes hand in hand with the seasickness, but I was like kind of worried about like choppy waves and kind of storms, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't have any storms at all. We saw the lightning off in the distance out on our balcony one night, which was really cool.
That was
it looked
cool.
way far away.
Yeah, it was super far away, but it was like one cloud was dishing out the thunder. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
Explain it.
I know,
have a
it's
video
so
of
hard to explain. It almost looked like lightning was behind a puffy cloud.
Yeah, it was cool.
So it was off in the distance, but other than that, I was shocked because I know like Florida and really the Caribbean, like I feel like they get rain like every day pretty much.
Yeah. Maybe
it just wasn't the season for that. I think we went at a good time in May. I'm sure like July, August is more tropical weather. But yeah, I was just kind of worried, like, I don't know what happens like with lightning and thunder and like
do
choppy,
they say,
crazy
like, everyone
waves.
get to your rooms, like
right, like what happens if lightning strikes the ship? Like, does that happen often? I don't know.
That's an interesting question. I didn't even.
I think we would hear about
that. Might be a concern next time.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I'm the one who worries, not you.
True. I mean, I worry.
Leave it up to me. But no, I was shocked. We had beautiful weather. There was no storms. Yeah, it was perfect.
So that was my third like real concern was the weather.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, what if it just sucks the whole time? But it was perfect. Like even walking around at night was like nice out. Like it wasn't. I thought maybe it might get colder at night, and I never felt cold. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was very nice.
Yeah. And then the I guess the bonus concern, because we had like the same one. I thought like some of the stuff we were gonna do was gonna be lame. Like I thought I was gonna feel bored. Like,
yeah.
I was like, maybe like we'll get to the island and I'll just be bored, or this like tour, which we'll talk about in a little bit, will be boring, or like these shows will be boring. Like we only really had like one bad, and it wouldn't even say it's bad, but one like meh show experience.
Yeah, just like not my thing.
Yeah.
I can see the talent there. Probably wouldn't go to see it on my free time.
Right.
But, it wasn't like bad. It wasn't the worst thing.
To give you some more context, like every night there was like a different show going on.
Yeah.
They have like a full theater, like a big ass theater. It was awesome. And they have an ice rink too, which was cool. But we saw on the second night, we saw a musical.
Yeah, it was like a Broadway kind of style.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I mean,
not my thing.
The singing was wonderful.
Yeah.
People were definitely talented. The singing and dancing was great, but like I didn't know what was going on.
I was so lost.
I feel like I was watching a David Lynch movie. Like I just had no idea what was going on.
The
entire time.
I wanted to look it up too to see if that was a play they were following or if it's something they made up. It was called Marquis, if anyone knows.
Yeah.
It had like Phantom of the Opera in there at one point, but then it had other stuff too. So like I don't know if it was them making up the Broadway show or if it was
like a greatest
based
hits
on
or like
one.
a compilation. Like I feel like maybe you needed to know a little bit of Broadway stuff.
And I'm sure
that's
what it is. That's Broadway for you. But I wanted to see it just to see if I'd like it. I have never in person seen a Broadway show, but I knew going into it that I wasn't a Broadway fan. Like you gotta be a specific type of person to like that kind of stuff.
Right. And like with that too, like I thought, these shows were gonna be, I like not to knock anybody's talent, but I thought they were gonna be like lower tier, like you see like A-list celebrities, B-list celebrities. Like I thought this was gonna be like W-list tier quality.
Yeah.
And it was not. Like everyone was great. Like they're
phenomenal. Very talented.
Even the comedian like blew me away with how
funny
the
comedian was so funny. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be good, but I did my research. And that can be a downfall sometimes. But
we are going to actually change the spelling of research. Instead of RESEACH. Yeah, research.
We're
going to change it to RHI at the beginning. I can't spell right now. I don't know.
All right.
I'm good. I play Wordle every day. I'm good at spelling.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did a ton of research, so I knew. But I will say, if I didn't like watch a bunch of cruise vlogs,
which you did.
By research, I mean YouTube. Still do, because I'm just like, well, now I'm ready for my next one.
Yeah.
Shit, I was ready for my next one before we went to the first one. I had to hold myself back from booking.
We were on the bus ride home, and I look over, and she's on her phone, like, booking.
No, because I was waiting for this moment. I would have booked others before we went on our first one, but I knew it was not a good idea. I knew we would like it, but then there's that small chance that we wouldn't, right? Or something, it just wouldn't be our thing.
Right.
There's
or it wouldn't
something
be
that
worth
we wouldn't
the money.
enjoy.
Like, yeah.
So, I was waiting for that moment.
And that moment came.
Well, we didn't actually officially book it. We'll just preface it with that. But I'm working on it. We will see.
Oh, yeah. We didn't take the kids, by the way, for those of you listening or watching that don't know. We have 2 kids, and we did not take them. Yeah. So it was kid-free, the longest we've ever been away from the kids. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the thing that we hit the nail on the head is we said, the whole time we're going to talk about the kids, and that's all we did. We're like, oh, man, the kids would have loved this. The kids would love that. Oh, we got to do that with the kids. And it was pretty fun just to talk about what we were going to do with the kids when they came.
Yeah, so now we have to book one with the kids, of course.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, if I had seen on paper, if I didn't do as much research as I did at watching vlogs and stuff like that, if I had seen on paper an ice skating show, I don't know that I would have went to it.
Yeah, that's how I felt, because I didn't do any of that research.
Right. Yeah, everything was planned for you. You were just told when and where to show up.
Yeah, several times, because I'd be like, what are we doing again? But we touched a little bit earlier on technology, and I feel like technology was super helpful here, because you had all the stuff that was going on that day on the app. They told you oh, you have this that you not even a booking, you could just say, I'm interested in going to the show. You didn't have to buy tickets, you didn't have to get tickets, you didn't have to pre-register, you just showed up.
Yeah. I will say though, on the bigger ships you do have to reserve some spots. Our ship, we didn't have to reserve for the shows, but it's easy. I mean, it's free, it's included, you just go on the app. But yeah, I mean, even boarding the ship was incredibly easy.
So easy.
We did everything a pre-check-in on the app, and then we got to go through the express lane. Mm-hmm. We were, from the moment we got dropped off on the Uber to the ship, I want to say it was 10 minutes.
Yeah, we were on there super fast.
Quick.
Yeah, because we got there early enough to where it's okay, we don't want to miss our lunch reservation, because that was a legit reservation.
Yeah,
we wanted to get there in time to get to that, but we were so early, getting on the ship was so easy. And then we found where our room would be. They have kind of the doors blocked off, because they're cleaning and getting everything ready for you. So we knew where we were going after that, but we gave plenty of time. We had plenty of time to go explore a little bit.
Yeah, the best part. And we did a 4-night cruise, which I think was great for a first timer. I would highly recommend.
Well, it's great too, because what if you did have seasickness?
Right. You don't want to be stuck on a 9, 8, 9, 9. I think it was the perfect amount of time. Maybe I'm saying this just because we had the kids at home and it was the longest we had left them before. I think the longest both of us have been away from them at the same time was 1 night. So this was a lot, because we got in the day before. Again, another thing I highly recommend, Rhi's tips. Get in the day before. You do not want to arrive at the airport and then try to make it to the port to board your ship. It's just not a good idea,
especially that airport.
Oh my god, Miami's crazy.
Dude, Miami airport was bonkers.
I'm sorry, I hate Miami.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not
a big fan of Miami.
I hate it. Sorry.
Yeah,
not my cup of tea. But what was I saying?
I don't know. You were talking about...
You distracted me with Miami.
I did distract you with Miami. We were talking about the airport, and you were talking about not...
coming in the day before. You absolutely should do that. There's so many different scenarios. If your plane gets delayed, and even if it doesn't, do you want to spend your time stressing about getting there on time?
Right? Do you want to be the last one on the ship?
You don't.
Probably not, right?
Of course not. No one does.
No one
That's
does.
your vacation time that you're cutting into.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just a very easy experience to board the ship. And I'm glad that we had the app, and I'm glad that
Yeah, I was about to say, you're saying a whole lot of we's. I had the app as well, but the app told me where to be as well as you.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, when you go on the ship, look around. And you can spot the OGs who know what they're doing. We were sitting there.
I love people watching.
And people watching is great. Yeah. But I looked at Rhi and I said, "You see those two up there on the balcony? They look like they're cruisers.
They're seasoned.
They're seasoned. They've been on a bunch of these things. Mm-hmm. They're looking there from the balcony above, looking down at us, first time cruising peasants, going, man, these guys don't know how amazing this is going to be." And we knew that if we had questions, we could have gone right up to them and just been like, hey, what do we do in this situation?
Yeah, everyone's so friendly.
Yeah. Oh, everyone was super friendly.
Mm-hmm.
We did meet a nice couple from Indiana, right? Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana.
Yeah, they were
random
nice.
ass state.
Right, yeah, exactly. Everyone was from a random ass state, it seems. But
there's so many, like, this is stupid. There's so many states to me that are just like, why do they exist?
like Wyoming?
But I know people think that about New England states. I mean, you know, when I worked for Yankee Candle and I went to the Yankee Candle headquarters,
right.
There was, you know, when we were going around saying where we were from, someone said Portland, and the trainer was like, oh, Portland, Oregon or Portland, Maine? And they're like, Oregon?
There's
What's
two
Maine?
Portlands.
No one. And so, like, it came to me, and I was like, I'm from Maine.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's not part of Canada. Literally.
Yeah.
Someone thought it was part of Canada. They didn't even know it was a U.S. state. At that point, they hadn't even heard of Dunkin' Donuts, which now it's more spread across the country. But I'm just like, what are you talking about? So I know in New England, we're like way up there. But there are some states that I'm just like, what is the purpose of Indiana?
Well, they have the
or
Pacers,
Iowa.
And they have Indianapolis. They have the Indianapolis 500. It's a race.
True. Yeah.
I do feel, though, like piggybacking off your point, no one knew what Vermont was.
No, that's true. So
except
like,
for the Indiana guy, like, but he
the
seemed
Uber,
well traveled.
Yeah, well, he thought they were the only rednecks in the country apparently, and I was like, no, you've never been to New England. There's quite a few rednecks. They might be a little different, but they're definitely some rednecks up in the woods where there's no one.
Yep.
No, I mean, I think it was the massage lady asked us where we were from. We said Vermont. She said, I don't know where that is.
Yeah, she was.
I said, do you know where Maine is? No. Boston. Do you know where Massachusetts is? Yes.
Yeah. We were the Boston couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
just north of
our
Boston.
Uber driver was quite shocked that we were from Vermont, which really I find funny because I feel like a lot of people travel to Florida. A lot of people go on cruises from like all over the world.
Right.
And I don't even think we were that far. You know, it's not like we were coming from the West Coast or anything. We were just up north on the same coast. I don't know. I didn't think it was that shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say you can make fun of our state all you want.
Yeah, you know, it's fine. It's totally fine.
But I know, to circle back, I know what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think 4 nights is the perfect amount of time. So I was a little concerned, not concerned. That's the wrong word. I was like, oh, I'm going to have the blues that like this went by so fast and this was way too quick of a trip. Honestly, I think it was the perfect amount of time for our first one.
I think so too.
And of course we were, you know, missing the kids and wanting to get back to them. So that was part of it. But I honestly didn't feel like the time went by that fast.
No. And I think some of it had to be like the fact that we like got up at 6 a.m. and
that's
was
true.
up until like midnight.
We still woke up at 6:30 to watch the sunrise. But listen, we got room service.
Yeah, we got coffee.
We got coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
We watched the sunrise. The ocean is so peaceful. It's my absolute favorite. It calls me.
So people did that at karaoke, and Rhi was getting down.
Yeah, Micah got to do karaoke.
Who?
Oh, I don't know who that kid is.
Yeah, I did get to do karaoke. They
got to do karaoke.
They weren't ready for that.
They were not ready for that.
But it was fun.
And I didn't have the balls to do the chorus for you. Sorry.
No. And you didn't even video it. I was surprised. I thought you'd have your phone up in the
air. I was going
like,
to, but I was like in the moment and it was just chaotic. But that was a really good karaoke crew.
It was fun.
It was such a mix of songs.
Yeah.
It kept it interesting. And then that guy that did the parody.
Oh, that was funny.
My cubicle.
Yeah.
Because the music started playing. I'm like, not this song.
Yeah. And he was reading the lyrics off his phone.
You're beautiful from whatever that is. You know, it's overplayed. I'm sorry. It's sappy and boring. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
And he just belts out a parody about work and cubicles and it was great. It was perfect.
Yeah,
and
it was awesome.
I mean, the screamo emo girl.
Oh my God! The first person that got up did "One Step Closer to the Edge" by Linkin Park. I don't think the title is that whole thing, but
no. But yes.
But she was like,
everyone
like
was,
totally screaming. Just like that. It was, and I was like, and I'm standing up there ready to put my song in, and I'm like, I might need to turn around. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna fit in here.
Yeah, but no, there was a good mix of songs there, so that was fun.
Yeah, this cruise had a ton of things.
There was
to do.
almost too much to do
Way
in a
too
way
much.
because we wanted to do more and we just couldn't. There's not enough time in the day, even on vacation.
What was your and we haven't even talked about like the places we went outside of the ship.
Yeah, we'll
but
get to the ports. We're talking about
Yeah.
the cruise ship.
What was your favorite thing on the ship? Freedom of the Seas.
This is going to be vague, but I will say I'm just going to say the food because I constantly not even like anything specific, just the fact that I could go and eat whatever the fuck I wanted to all the time.
Whenever. Yeah.
Okay, that is the absolute best. Like I'm feeling a plate of desserts. Let's
Yeah,
go
at
grab a
one
plate of
point-
desserts. You
Yep.
bet your ass we did that.
Wait. Hold on.
pizza.
Hold on. You've been taking a lot of the wheeze away. You've been switching the wheeze to the rees. Who went up and got all the desserts?
Okay, you did.
Yeah,
yes.
I did. Yeah,
that
I
was
did.
what you contributed. No, but for real, like, you know, the food was good. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't say it was like anything like spectacular. Like, it definitely not like, you know, like the main dining room is where we went to have dinner every
Right.
night, and it was good. It wasn't like blow your mind like best restaurant I've ever been to.
Well, there
but
was
it was
some stuff
good.
that was good.
Oh,
but
of course,
but
yeah.
It was still like
it was consistently good.
Yeah.
I would say.
and it was above par from what I thought it would be. Because
Yeah.
you think about it, like all those
Yeah.
people having to cook for all those people,
And it's all included.
And it's all
like how good could it be?
included.
But the buffet was
The
so
buffet
good
was
for a
good.
buffet. Like
Yeah.
shit. So just the fact that like you could go, get a freaking cupcake from the buffet if you feel like it,
or a slice
or
of pizza,
go get a slice of pizza, or sit down and have a meal like
or ice
taco
cream on the deck.
on the pool deck, or ice cream anytime you want. Like that was because I'm a foodie. I'm always hungry. You don't want me hangry. I want my food.
You don't want her hangry. If she says I'm hungry, you start a timer, and you got about 20-ish minutes before you need to act on something, and you're gonna be in trouble. Like right now, she's looking at me like, I told you I was hungry 20 minutes ago. This podcast needs to end.
Yeah, but no, just the fact that like food was so accessible. How about that? Food was so accessible.
It really was. It really was.
What was your favorite?
Man, just the vibe on the ship. Like, no one was rude. Like,
Yeah.
you're like maneuvering crowds, and like, I really enjoyed. We went to the gym one day, and I thought that was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. But
Best
I enjoyed.
gym I've ever been to.
Yeah, that gym was awesome. I did enjoy walking around. They have a walking track.
Yeah, I loved that.
And 6 laps on the walking track is a mile. We learned.
Mm-hmm.
Walking on that early in the morning.
Yeah.
And
I love
the
early
sun
in the
wasn't really
morning.
strong.
Yeah.
It was just, we had a
It's so
decent breeze. It was so
peaceful.
peaceful. Yeah,
So
it was
nice.
just awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I would say also too, I loved the balcony and like sitting out on the balcony in the morning with the sunrise and my cup of coffee. Like,
Yep,
that
I would
was
agree.
perfect.
That was awesome.
But yeah, no, another thing too that I just love about cruising is you can make it whatever you want.
Right.
Like if you want to have a peaceful, relaxing vacation, you can have that. If you want to party, you can have that. If you want a family reunion, you can bring your family along and have that. So like, you know, there's definitely like I think it was a good mix. Like, you know, we spent a lot of time. We didn't go in the pool at all.
No,
shockingly.
not at all. Shockingly,
It was it was a little crowded in the pool.
Yeah, I mean, I think like also
it was kind of
too-
hard to cram that time in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was more the time, because I feel like there were times where like it wasn't that crowded, but we were like kind of comfortable in the spots we were in.
Yeah, or like we had dinner to go to, so like, do you really
Right.
want to get in the pool and then having to like
Dry off and get changed.
get my hair done and makeup and blah blah.
Yeah, my
But-
hair's a mess.
It takes a real long time.
Long time.
But yeah, we spent a lot of time just like sitting on the deck with the breeze and reading books, and it was just very relaxing.
It was.
But then if we wanted to go do karaoke and we wanted to go laugh at a comedian, and if we wanted to go, well, we went to the silent disco.
Yeah, the silent disco. Oh man,
They
the
did
silent
have-
disco was so cool.
Yeah, they did have like dancing and kind of not like clubs, but you know, like whatever you wanted to make of your vacation. I feel like there's something for everyone.
Yeah,
If you want to get away from the kids, you can get away with the kids. If you have kids, it's great for kids. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's versatile.
I would say like I truly felt like I was on vacation the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like sometimes, like, you know, we go down to North Carolina every couple of years, and, you know, it feels like vacation, but it's like you're always like going and doing something, and you got to grocery shop, and at some point you got to do laundry, and like it's still vacation, but it's not that like no worries vacation,
right?
Because you still have to like figure out what you're gonna eat for the day and like pack stuff to go to the beach, and like this was just truly vacation. Like, we went to the beach, we went to Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, and that was like I thought like, okay, the food isn't gonna be like as close as it was. Like, I thought maybe we'd have to wait a long time for the food, but where we were on the beach, there was food like pretty much right behind us. Like, it was very close by.
There was too much food.
Yeah, then we went to the other side of the island and went on a different beach and hung out there, and there was food there too. We had 2 lunches that day.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a 2
No
lunch
shame.
day. No shame.
I wanted both of those lunches.
To be
before
fair,
going there,
we didn't eat everything. I left like a mozzarella stick, and
it was too much food.
Too much food.
Believe it or not. But yeah, like, not having to worry, you know, I honestly think it's a great benefit cost-wise to go on a cruise for traveling, because you're getting your food included, you're getting your entertainment included, you're getting your hotel included, and then you're also getting your travel. Like, they're bringing you to your destinations.
Yeah.
I will say one more concern I did have, speaking of the destinations, is I didn't know how I felt, and what kind of held me back from going before on a cruise was I didn't know how I felt about having limited time at the ports. Right. Now, granted, we only went to 2 in the Bahamas. So, you know, maybe I would feel different. I don't know if we went on like a 14-day cruise and we like cruised through all of like the Caribbean islands that we could. But honestly, I feel like the time that we had was plenty. Like, I was ready to get back on that ship in the air conditioning and maybe get another round of lunch and just chill in the room. Like, I feel like we had plenty of time.
I would agree. You know, the time, I don't think I was concerned about it. Like, I think I was more concerned about how we'd fill the time. Like, I thought, okay, maybe we'll get bored, or maybe like this. And
no, I knew we wouldn't get bored.
Yeah, and then like we just, it was so nice. Like, it was so peaceful. Like, it never felt like, especially Coco Cay, like, never felt crowded.
Coco Cay is amazing. It's the best private island. I mean, my one cruising experience. I have so much expertise in this. It's the best private island.
Look, that's
what the YouTubers say.
This is Rhi. She's watched a lot of vlogs. How many hours of vlogs do you think you watch?
I have no idea. A lot. That's like my TV.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I watch YouTube vlogs instead.
Yeah, like you did when we did Disney. You watched Disney vlogs.
Yeah,
like,
I am a researcher to the T. I want to know. It's my anxiety. Yeah. I want to know when we get there, like, exactly what it's going to be like. You know, I don't.
Me, I like the surprise.
I know.
Of, like, what
I
it's
can see why people like the surprise, because sometimes it does. I won't say it ruins things, but sometimes it does make things not as magical because I know what's coming.
I'll tell you the most magical thing. When I would look at Rhi and I would go, we don't have to pay extra for this? We don't have to pay extra for this?
Right, like, you don't. Also, too, it felt so weird, like, at the end of dinner to not wait around for a check. Like, you literally just get up and leave. Like, it feels like you're dining and dashing.
Yeah, the first night we're like, do we just get up and go? At lunch, like, because we had a reservation at, like, that specific, like, restaurant, you signed, like, something. It was
a receipt that says zeros. And I kept looking at, like, like, when we got our massages, they had to tell me, like, oh, just sign. Because, like, I didn't know if I should, like, put a tip in or whatever. And we did prepay for tips. Spoiler alert. No, I'm just kidding.
Spoiler alert to all the crew.
You do still want to tip them, okay? You can choose to have them
tip your tour guides.
Or you just tip it ahead of time, which is what we decided to do.
Yeah.
But it just felt so weird to just sign a receipt with zero and not put anything extra in there.
Again, no worries. Like, I remember... You know, going into it, I was like, okay, this works out great because the way my pay schedule lands, I got an extra paycheck this month, which worked out wonderfully because I was like, oh great, I can't talk right now. Oh great, I can use this extra money for all the stuff we're gonna buy on the ship and all the vacation stuff. We spent like not that much money, like what, $200 maybe.
Yeah, and that included souvenirs. Like, that was all.
That
was all shopping.
Yeah, it was all shopping.
I thought I would get like a drink every day, and I honestly I
Yeah,
didn't. I
we
mean, I'm
didn't.
not a big drinker, so, there's definitely people out there that get like the drink package and stuff like that. It is neat because Royal Caribbean does allow you to bring on 1 bottle of wine per guest. So we went to Walgreens. I got my good old $5 wine.
Yep, top shelf. It was
in
actually
Miami
on the
before
top
we
shelf.
left.
Yeah.
And that kind of tied me over. I still had a little bit left because I just have like a glass here and there at night. And then I had 1 drink on the last day, on the sea day, just because when in Rome.
I thought because you were going to be trapped in a small room with me for 4 days that you were going to drink a lot more.
I'd need like shot. Yeah. No, I just also too, like, I don't know, like having all the sweets and being full all the time and,
yeah.
being in the sun, being in the heat. Like for me, that's not like a great mix to have a bunch of drinks, but it's there if you want to have it. There is no shortage of it. So, drink up. But yeah. So the ports. So Coco Cay is amazing.
Totally amazing.
They have the tallest water slide in North America, and it's like in the top 5 of the world.
And we didn't go on it.
We didn't go on it because it is a free private island for you to access. There are excursions, so like the water park you'd have to pay for, which you like water slides quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's
when we said,
I'll go down
we'll
1
save
or 2, but
till we bring the
kids. The kids would like that. But, I am a beach person.
Yes.
Absolutely love the beach. And I was just so excited. It was my first time being out of the country. And I was just so excited to see that blue water. That
the water
turquoise,
was so cool.
Gorgeous water. And I'm a beach bum. So I just wanted to spend the entire day on the beach. They do have a pool. It's the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean.
Yep. We learned
all my
that.
fun facts I'm throwing in there.
I love Rhi's facts. I wish I had the shark facts.
Yeah.
Because that was adorable. We were at Ripley's Believe It or Not aquarium. And there was a shark fact about how sharks bite, like cats bites are harder than
sharks or something like that. Well,
something
we're going back this year, so we'll have to.
We can recreate.
We'll recreate it, and we have a video of it. Anyway,
somewhere.
So it's it's pretty neat. So that pool area is free. The food along the island's free. I mean, there's like sports areas. We didn't even hit up some of the beaches. There's like 4 different beach areas.
Went to Chill Island
because they have they have the basketball court, but they have like large. What do you call the giant like board game things? Like they have giant chess, giant Jenga, like that kind of stuff. So we went to 2 different beach areas. Great. It was wonderful. I could have stayed. I mean, we did stay there all day.
Yeah.
I could have stayed in the water all day
Like,
long. And the water was so calm and peaceful. Well, not quite, but
not quite, but we were there for a while.
Almost. But yeah, I was blown away. Like here, the ocean is so like wavy. I don't know. If you go to the coast, like the waves are always.
Yeah, there was like no waves.
There was no waves.
So
it was so calm and gentle, and the colors were just like so beautiful.
Pictures don't do it justice, because even going back and like looking at the pictures, I'm like, man, there's some funny pictures because the water you can see right through, so like the body distortion is so funny underneath the water. But it was, oh man, it was so beautiful.
The only thing we didn't do that I wanted to do is we didn't do snorkeling, and I have always wanted to snorkel with like these cool tropical fishes and just like see all that.
But like I feel like in Coco Cay,
it wasn't like
there wasn't like a
crazy.
good spot.
They did have
fish.
They did have fish.
We did see some fish.
There are snorkeling spots.
We just didn't seek them
out.
But
again, too much to do.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing day. We had a perfect day, if you would, because their slogan is perfect day at Coco Cay, which, another fun fact, it's technically not pronounced K, okay? The Bohemians would be after us for this.
Oh, yeah.
All the K-C-A-Ys are pronounced key, which does bother me a little bit, but we're also English, and, the English dictionary doesn't make sense either.
Perfect day doesn't rhyme with Coco Key.
Exactly.
It would have to be perfect D at Coco Key.
So
that sounds like something...
Yeah, no.
Else.
We don't want to do that. So they take that song. What is it? What's the
Lovely
real song?
Day?
Lovely, yeah. A lovely day. A lovely day. Right?
What movie was that in? Was that in Secret Life of Pets?
Maybe. I feel like it's been in a lot of movies. That song's just always been around. Like, who even sings it? Where did it come from? What year was it created? I don't know.
We could look it up.
But they changed the words, and it's a perfect day. A Coco-K. I don't know if there's anything else to it. I think it just repeats over and over.
Yeah, I think they hold it out, like they, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
so they
sing
play
it
on the speakers. We heard it at breakfast. Yep. I heard it faintly in the background, and then there was a person singing. Oh, there was a person singing it on the island. They have the dancers, Junkaroo dancers. They're like all dressed up, and they sing and welcome you to the island. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. It's amazing. I want to go back. Like, I would go back just for Coco-K.
Yeah,
for what it includes, and you don't really have to. If you don't want to spend money, you don't have to spend money.
We didn't
have to.
We got souvenirs at Coco-K.
We got souvenirs. You don't have to get souvenirs.
Now we didn't spend any money.
And next time I will go snorkeling. We'll bring our own gear.
Bring our own gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then the next day we went to Nassau, which Nassau kind of gets a bad rep because it,
it's because people are crazy?
Well, just like the people, I don't want to say they're aggressive, but like the
okay. So let's talk about that for a minute.
So
because
before we say this, we had a wonderful time.
Great experience.
I absolutely loved it. I would never recommend, unless you've been there 100 times, I would never recommend not doing an excursion.
Right.
I think if we walked off the ship and we explored on our own, we would have had a terrible time.
Yeah,
maybe not terrible, but I just don't think it would be a good experience.
Yeah, so it
is a bit chaotic.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns too. Was like everyone always said, when you get off the boat, you get bombarded by the locals, like selling you stuff.
You said boat.
Oh man,
you're gonna have to enter in. This is what I want you to do.
Oh no,
you're gonna enter in a ship horn sound effect every time you say boat.
You just said it, so now we're tied. I like yours better than one I could find to import in.
Okay.
So when you get off the ship, see, my mouth is covered here, so I could have just dubbed it over.
Could have.
Yeah, and the audio people, I could have just cut it in. No one would even know.
I don't know about that, but go on. Moving along.
Yeah, but people said as soon as you get off the ship,
mm-hmm.
there's people just throwing stuff at you, trying to make you buy stuff. Yeah. And I didn't feel that at all. But again, we got off the ship with a tour guide who brought us right to our tour bus.
Yeah.
And then we went on.
We did an excursion through the cruise line. You can do them separately, to each his own. I wanted that security there. They changed that cruise port a lot too. Like, we have seen it when it was recently remodeled. Before, it was just kind of chaotic. But that port is so big.
It is.
I think it can hold 7 or 8 ships at a time.
There was,
which is a lot.
4 when we were there?
Yeah, at least 4. Yeah. And of course, we were the very last dock. How far would you say that walk is? That's got to be quarter of a mile?
Probably, because it wraps around. It's a pretty long walk
because we were all the way at the end. So, I mean, I'm just I feel like if we had to walk that far and then you're just thrown into that city with the straw market, which it has cool stuff, but people there kind of all over you about buying things and shoving things in your face. One of the girls I work with, they went to that port and they didn't have an excursion. They just walked around and people literally came up and put bracelets on her and said, "Yep, you owe me money now." It's that kind of stuff. There's a lot of interesting though. We did not see this once at all, but I've heard this from multiple people that the wood carvings that they do, there's a lot of penises.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why. I don't know if they're Americans.
They
love want
penis.
Wooden woodies.
Wooden dongs.
I don't know what it is, but I guess they make. Apparently, there's a middle finger, and it turns into a penis. All kinds of stuff. We missed the good stuff.
I feel like they saw the movie Toy Story. Or saw read about the movie Toy Story and just got the wrong impression about Woody and Buzz.
I don't know. I just think they think Americans are obsessed with dicks.
Maybe they just think we're dicks and they're just how many penises can we sell to an American today? Maybe it's a game for them.
Maybe so, but also the thing is, that area is very congested. And so there is a free beach, but the free beach is so small and just like people are down your throats trying to sell you umbrellas and
Right.
chairs and food and drinks. And the actual beach area for the free public access that's close to the cruise port is so small. So I think I can see people's impressions of that turning them off. But we had a wonderful experience. So ours was like a James Bond theme.
Yeah.
So I know like jack shit about James Bond. That was not what enticed me. He picked it out. But what enticed me was that, you know, again, this is my first time out of the country. Like I want to see like the culture. I want to see the different like monuments,
Yeah.
like historical things. I want to learn about the country, like everything. And this was perfect.
It was
Perfect. We got to see like exactly everything I wanted to see when I first researched like Bahamas. Like this was what I wanted to see. And at the very end, we also got to go to the beach, which was a bonus for me because I love the beach. So everything about it was amazing.
That was the worst part. I just felt so bad for our tour guide. He was dressed up like a 00 agent.
No, he wasn't dressed up. He was 008.
Oh yeah, he was legit 008. Sorry, Eddie. Yeah, so he was dressed up like full on like in a suit, like a James Bond like tux, like all the layers and everything the whole time. And I felt so bad for him for being so hot, but he was great. Hot. Like he told us a lot about the culture, not only that,
culture, fun facts.
Yeah, but like he was interactive. Like so, if we asked something, like someone would ask, you know, a question, and he would answer it, and like then he'd tell you like all these other little facts about things, and like we learned about like why there are certain different colored buildings, and
yeah.
I keep yawning.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
Yeah,
I want to go back to the beach.
Right. But yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, and by the time we were done with that, like all being out in the sun and walking around and seeing all the sights, like I feel like we got on the ship pretty early that day.
Yeah, I think, and again, this is why, like, because at the end we were at where the huts were. It was kind of like a straw market. It wasn't the straw market that like Nassau's known for, but like they had little huts, and that was part of like the cruise port renovation, where you could get stuff. And I just feel like at that point I was so tired. Like the sun was like beating down on us on the port, like on the pier, I guess you would call it. Just like, yeah, it's just beating down on you. Whereas before, like we were in a van, a nice AC van, where we would get out every once in a while to see the different spots, and then we'd get back on. You know, then of course we went in the water at the beach. So like we were pretty cool. Like it wasn't like we were really like walking around for that long to be like super hot. So like to just, I don't know, just walking along there, the sun was just beating down on us.
Yeah, I mean
there wasn't like a store to go into that was like AC. It was just like open huts for the most part.
Yeah.
So by the time that came around, it's just, and also too, the walk is pretty long.
It is.
You know, after having a long day, it's a long walk on that pier.
Yeah.
And whatever you call it.
What was it like? When did we get back on the ship? We got back at like 2:30, 3,
like 3.
Yeah, it was still pretty early, I thought, but like the sun. I mean, me personally, being a very pale Vermont boy.
Yeah, you didn't get sunburned.
I didn't get sunburned, which was surprising, but the sun does kind of kick my ass a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think everyone feels that way, regardless of like how your skin takes the sun. Like I get exhausted after laying around on the beach all day. You know, it's just that's kind of part of it. It takes it out of you. So by the time the afternoon came around, like we were definitely ready to get back on the ship, and we had a piece of pizza. I think we took a nap. Yeah, and then we were ready for.
That was the actual day that I fell asleep, like during our nap. Normally, I'm not a big midday napper. Like I can't do it. And like I was laying there and I was kind of like reading my book, but I was like laying awkwardly and I fell asleep for like probably like 40 minutes. And when I woke up, I was like, ugh, man, I need to go back to that massage, man.
I know. I could have gone for another one.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. What is there like one or two things you would change, or like anything you didn't like?
I think this is probably also your thing that you would change, is we would have gone to that game show the first night, because that sounded pretty wild.
Yeah. The Quest.
The Quest.
Yeah.
It's
like
like
an
a adults only
scavenger hunt kind of game.
Yeah,
It's the best way I can explain it. And I was bummed we missed it. It was at 11 o'clock. Okay, I'm old now. I
You're
can't
not
go.
old now. But they did
We were
frame
gonna
that
go,
up.
and then we came back to the to the room, which was our mistake.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm tired. I'm so full. Like, I was overly full the entire time. I probably ate way too much, and that's probably half the problem because that makes you sleepy and kind of bleh. I was like, you know what, laying in bed and reading a little bit, going to bed is.
It was again one of those things where it's like, I don't care. Like, we couldn't. I'm indifferent. But then after, like, we went to Nassau and they were talking about it. The couple that we met from Indiana were talking about it. We're like, oh man, that sounded like it might have actually been like pretty fun. I mean,
it was definitely something I wanted to see.
The crew guy, what was his name?
Eric.
Eric. But what was his title?
The cruise director.
There you go. He came out after every show. He'd come out and have like a speech, and he'd always invite you to something special that night. And he invited, everyone to that thing. But he said, if you're easily offended, stay home.
Yeah,
like,
don't come.
If you're not going to come in with an open mind, don't bother. Like, he very much framed it up as like, it's 18 plus, be an open mind.
Yeah.
If you're going to easily, even the slightest bit offended, just stay home.
Yeah. And that would have been right up my alley because I'm not easily offended.
No, me either. That would have been a lot of fun.
Shit. It would have been great next time because we will be going again soon. Anything else though? Like, was there anything you disliked?
No, I thought everything was wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess the only thing I would like maybe change is maybe we would have like gotten in the hot tub like one night or gotten in the pool. I do wish we got in the
hot tub or the pool.
But
I would have liked that.
Again,
but again, we just had so much to do.
Yeah, like we would
go
to dinner. We would go to dinner and then we'd kind of like walk around the perimeter of the cruise ship and just look out at the sunset. We took a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
And then, we'd kind of like go back to our room for a little bit and then go to our show. It was just nice. It was just nice.
But was there anything like about the cruise itself that you like, not what you wish you did? Is there anything at all that you disliked?
I don't think so.
You liked everything?
I think everything was just perfect. Yeah, it was awesome. Like, there really wasn't anything that I would change. I mean, it was great. Like I said, we weren't waiting in line for anything. Like, even the water slide, like I went down the water slide. There was a water slide on the ship.
Yeah, a couple.
I went down 2 times like right in a row. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And you didn't get to do the wave rider.
No, that would have been cool to do, but when we got there, they were doing like the advanced, like the people who had kind of tried it on earlier in the week, or like, I don't know how they get like the advanced wristband or whatever, but I was not qualified to try that at that point in time that we were there. So
no, that'd be cool to try.
Yeah,
one time though, but
it'd be fun to watch me eat shit.
But there's so many different ships, like the one I was looking at. They have like go-karts. They have laser tag. They have like, some of them have like aquadomes where they have like the aqua shows.
Oh, that would be cool.
I mean, there's just so many. Like, I don't know. I feel like the one we had was like, there was so much to do and there were so many things, but like that was just a mid-sized ship. Like, there's so many like newer, like bigger ships, and they have even more to do.
Yeah.
So that's why like that too, like you can pick what ship you want, which I would highly recommend at least researching the ship at least a little bit.
By the way, ours was Freedom of the Seas.
If you hadn't heard.
That was our ship. But
there was, so there's 2 things that kind of came to mind, and I won't say that I like dislike them, but maybe like, no, I won't be that harsh, because again, I do think it was like a perfect time. It was great. Constructive feedback, I guess.
Here we
go. And one, this is nothing that they could do to control, but even though we said earlier on that it wasn't like super crowded, like everyone was spread out, it was a little bit of a bummer that the pool deck was so overcrowded, which again, that's nothing that the cruise line can fix.
So they had the signs up that were like, you can't just hold a chair, like,
right, but that's not really enforced.
Exactly, it's not enforced. They made it sound like, okay, well, if you are nowhere to be seen,
like someone's gonna come around and monitor it, but that doesn't happen. I think they just put that up, which I wouldn't expect. I mean, it'd be nice, but like, that's how do you that's so hard, and then people are gonna get mad, and Yeah, that's like a whole nother thing. And again, that's nothing the cruise line can change, but
Right.
it would have been nice to be able to use the pool. And then like the elevators were so busy. Like
They were.
we took the stairs every time,
But
except for like twice.
Even though we were going up, like, I mean, the flights, they're not like full flights of stairs.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It was great also too to like walk it off. Like it was our joke, like,
Yeah.
haha, we're walking in off dinner kind of thing. Like
And the
we're eating
stairs
so
were
much we need to take the stairs.
Yeah, they were staggered
But-
in a way where you weren't stepping up.
Yeah,
very
it
high.
wasn't terrible, but it's just, it
Yeah.
was, if you wanted to use the elevator, like it was quite a delay. And then the
Yeah.
second thing, which again, it wasn't like overwhelming and it wasn't too bad, but there was a little bit of upselling going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like specifically with our massage. And
yeah.
again, they weren't like super pressuring. Like when we said no, it was just kind of like,
Okay.
that's it. But they were trying to sell us on like at first like other services to do, or like upgrading our massage or something
Right.
like
Didn't
that.
they want to extend
And then
it?
at the
like-
end,
Yeah.
and then at the end, like they had products, but it wasn't like super pressuring. It's just like,
Yeah.
I could do without that, And then like the photographer,
Oh, man, we didn't even talk about the photographers. They were great.
They were funny. They were awesome. Service was
very
great.
personable.
It was cool. But it's similar to Disney where you have to like buy your package. You don't have to buy like a package. You could do it individually, but buy the photos. Like they're not going to just take your photos for
Right.
free. So they were kind of trying to sell us on that and like
Yeah.
going to this photo studio and getting like a whole photo shoot. And
Oh yeah, a complimentary photo shoot. Like, so we mentioned that it was our anniversary, and he was like, "Oh, I have something for you." And then he told us that there's a
an
professional
anniversary package.
an
kind of thing.
anniversary
Yeah.
package with you get a complimentary professional photo shoot. And then he showed
Yeah.
us some example pictures, and he's like,
And he was
"You could
kind of
get
trying to get
these."
us like, oh, how about at sunset tomorrow? And we're like, we kind of
Oh,
have
yeah,
plans. Like we
he-
have dinner. Oh yeah, but we can work it around. And like he kind of kept going a little bit,
Yeah.
but again, nothing that would turn me off completely. Like I still had like overall just an amazing time. We're absolutely going again. Like
Oh,
this might
100%.
be our new thing.
Yeah.
But just constructive feedback. Like when you're on vacation, like I get it. They want to get every penny that they can out of you, but it would
Right.
be nice to
But
completely
again,
not
it
have to
wasn't
have it.
overbearing.
No,
like,
it wasn't bad. It was.
I feel like the only
yeah.
time it was like uncomfortable really was the massage people, because you're like in a room with them and they're like, "Here's all this stuff, and you could do this, and oh, you could do
Yeah.
that." And it's like, "No, I'm all good." And they were like, "Okay." They didn't try again after
No,
that.
they didn't. And again, I want to make sure it comes across like it wasn't like this crazy thing.
Right.
It was just like,
They tried.
I'd prefer not to,
Yeah. The photographers were fun though, and that one remembered you. He was like, "Oh, Miss Rihanna."
Yeah, that
It
was
was
my
pretty
title,
funny.
Miss
Yeah,
Rihanna,
Miss
the
Rihanna.
whole week. I'm not complaining.
Right. Don't blame you there.
Yeah, then he was dressed up as a pirate, which was kind of funny. I don't know. He just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, he literally popped out of nowhere dressed as a pirate. Like, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
What I feel like we've touched on everything. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the comedian. Let's plug
Yeah,
the
the comedian was great.
He was great. Louis Ramey, Ramey, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's how he spells it.
Or is it Ramsey?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Ramey,
I'm terrible with
R-A-M-E-Y.
remembering things
Yeah.
and like people's names, so
But that was
trust
very
you on
good.
this one. It
He
was a great show.
hilarious.
He was so funny. Again, like I kind of with this one, I was kind of like, I don't know how good this is gonna be.
Yeah, it's a comedian.
But we
How
love
bad
to
could it
laugh.
be?
Like, well,
Have we ever seen a bad comedian?
No, I don't.
Other than like me on the daily.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess if I'm used to you, then how bad could it be?
Right. Yeah.
No, he was really funny. He was so good.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And the shows were only like 45 minutes, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like anything
And
crazy.
I thought that was the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
Because you could just pop in after dinner kind of thing and then like still have time to do other stuff.
Right, and you weren't sitting like long enough to where it was like
Yeah, it was getting
draining.
kind of like it was the perfect amount of time to keep you intrigued and not exhaust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Man, I think that about covers it. Even getting off the ship was pretty easy too.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot. I don't know. I've heard all these like stories about like people having to like go through customs and like claim what they like purchased and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's just the Bahamas because it's so close to America and there's so many like it's such a common area to cruise to. I don't know
Right.
if they're just more lenient because also too like the security at Nassau like didn't really do much. Like they checked our key cards, but they didn't check our passports. They didn't check our bags like a lot of other cruise ports do.
Well, they scan your bags when you're coming back.
The ship does.
The ship
does,
yes.
You know, the whole like controversy
right.
with the bullet shells thing for Turks and Caicos. That is Turks and Caicos, the country searching their bag. That's not the cruise ship.
Yeah.
So
Google that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they're a little more lenient about things because we didn't even have to tell them like what we bought or anything.
Yeah.
They just like scanned our SeaPass card, and away we went. And the only time I showed our passports was when we very first checked in before we boarded the ship. That's it. Yeah. That was the only time we got it out.
Well, they took our pictures and they said, "Oh, we have." When we came back to like, "Oh, we have facial recognition." Like
they do. Yeah, they do have that, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but I'm even at the ports like to get back on. Like I know other places like more. You have to show the passport at least. And I don't know. It was extremely easy.
So, question. Because, I mean, you're clearly going to plan the next cruise. Are we going Royal Caribbean again? Are we going to...
Ooh, another cruise line?
Yeah.
See, I really like Royal Caribbean.
I do too. I would need to know, does the other cruise lines have, like, the app where you can go and see, like, what's going on for the days?
I think most of them do. I think most of them do. It's just... It's really what you want out of it. I don't know. In my extensive research and expertise... I just do feel like they're a really good cruise line. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to trying someone else, but
I feel like if we try someone else, we're going on our first cruise again. That's the feeling.
So that could be the fun thing, but I feel like I definitely have a few more in mind that I want to go on. Definitely want to take the kids, and like I really want to go to Coco Cay. Like now that's like my
we have to take the kids
stipulation is like wherever we go, I don't care, but I want Coco Cay to be a destination.
So it has to be that, so that has to be Royal Caribbean then, right?
Right. There's Celebrity Cruise Lines, which is owned by Royal Caribbean.
Gotcha.
You can go, but also too, like I feel like Celebrity, for example, because again I've done a lot of research. Like they do have stuff for kids. It's not like completely no kids stuff, but they are more of like a relaxing. Like they don't have as much. I just feel like Royal and Carnival are both really geared towards kids. Yeah. And I don't know, Carnival scares me a little bit.
Carnival's
maybe if you've been on a Carnival cruise, comment down below and let us know if you like it. I know people do like them. Yeah. They just kind of give me a Walmart like versus Target vibes.
Yeah, it's a big party city kind of thing.
Yeah, and also too, like I feel like even though again I've only been on one cruise, so don't get me wrong, but I just feel like such an expert now on Royal Caribbean that I would have to like learn everything over. Exactly. But then I'd have to learn everything over for another one. And that's kind of exhausting to me.
But we got to take the kids to Coco Cay because they're excited.
The next one, we will definitely go on Royal. I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm not like completely like we need to stay loyal.
Loyal to Royal.
Loyal to Royal. Unless they want to sponsor us, then shit, I'll stay loyal.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm open to it for sure. But I really do like them. I feel like they have a good mix of like quality and like kids, families, but also not being like too kid crazy. Like, you have your adults only areas, you have your quiet areas. Yeah.
I think it was great.
I think it was just like they weren't like the ship was in good shape. It wasn't run down, and that's an older ship. They did renovate it, but it is older. Yeah. Their brand new ships look crazy.
That one you showed me a picture of looked insane.
Massive. Also, have you seen like the comparisons of the Titanic to like today's cruise ships?
I have not, because I did exactly 0 minutes of research.
No, but I didn't know if it just like came up. There's like reels about them, but maybe I'm just getting that because it's like my recommended because I look at all the cruise stuff.
It is in your algorithm.
No, it is kind of scary to see how small it is compared to these.
I can imagine. I mean, you think about it, like there wasn't like what activities.
I mean, the Titanic, that wasn't a ship. That was a fucking boat.
Oh, wait, are you allowed to say that in this
yeah, because
case?
I'm referring to the Titanic as that, not as a cruise line.
What's the size where it gets to where you can no longer call it a boat?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
There might be a specific terminology for this. Or whatever.
Like if it's
I don't
above
know.
a certain
there's
amount
definitely like
footage.
we are not experts, even though I've been joking about it. We're not experts. Like,
Rhi is way closer to being an expert than myself, though, because she did do a ton of research. And again, thank you. I know I thanked you a lot,
you're
but
welcome.
thank you for, putting all that together and giving us that excellent experience, because you had everything planned and you were ready for everything and anything that could have happened. And if you want Rhi to book your very own cruise, just let us know.
Right? Maybe
comment
I'll open
below.
a travel agency.
Or go to DamnThatsYouTube if that's still a thing. I think that's still a thing.
Was it
DamnThatsYouTube, yeah. Or you could just on Instagram, Madness of Obro. And I feel like I don't like calling it X. Twitter is the Owen Brody. You could just tell me there, and I'll have to get my finder's fee, but I'll book Rhi to book your vacation. I think that's fair, right?
I'm ready to cruise the world. There's so many places I want to go to now. Also,
what's because we got to wrap this up. What is your top? Like, I know already, but tell the people what your top cruise is.
Like just one?
Yeah, like what is your dream cruise?
Oh, Mediterranean.
Yeah, Mediterranean.
Absolutely.
You want to see Italy and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just now I want to be like an old retired couple and just cruise for like a year or two. We just live on the cruise ship.
Just hop from ship to ship.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. I think I mentioned this to you. I kind of want, it's not a dream cruise, but I kind of want to do like the Alaskan cruise. Because I feel like that would just be so beautiful. But it'd be cold.
I'm not sold on that. But.
Not sold on the cold.
Yeah. I know like a lot of people love that. It's like a dream. But to me, Alaska's not a vacation destination. I don't see the appeal. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Maybe you need to watch some Alaskan cruise vlogs.
I mean, no, it looks beautiful. Sure. My idea of a vacation is tropical, hot weather, on the beach, turquoise waters. Not like I freeze my ass off friggin' 8 months out of the year.
True, true.
I don't want to freeze my ass off
worse?
Even more and see maybe polar bears that could rip me to shreds and freaking.
Well, wouldn't you see them from a distance?
Yeah,
it's not
probably.
like you're swimming with the polar bears or like
no,
riding
don't
a
you
polar
get
bear.
off at some point?
I mean, maybe.
Like they're mountains and they look beautiful, and glaciers they look beautiful, but they're cold as fuck.
True.
That's not. No.
True.
But I mean, I would probably still go on one, I guess.
I mean, I don't think.
But I want to get Mediterranean done, Mexico, Bermuda. I really want to go to. I want to go to Southern Caribbean.
When I was a kid, I thought the Bermuda Triangle was like a real big problem.
Okay, I think we all did. Bermuda Triangle was like equivalent to quicksand.
Yeah.
Both are not an issue.
No.
Why? Who lied to us?
It's like when you were in the car and you couldn't have the dome light on in the car. Like our parents told us that was illegal.
It was illegal. Why did they all just like automatically know that?
Yeah, I know.
Without even like talking to each other.
So
like
weird.
Also too, the internet wasn't around.
No.
So like how the hell did they just come up with that shit? That was like passed on from generation to generation.
Yeah.
The old Victorian age. If you turn that dome light on.
Just like that?
Yeah.
That was a weird accent.
That was not a Victorian accent.
Oh man. Well, hey, if you're listening to this still, thank you for enduring all of this vacation talk. If you are interested in going on a cruise, you definitely should. It was so much fun.
Yeah. And tell us where you want to go.
Yeah, tell us where you want to go.
Also tell us if you've been on a cruise. I want to know which cruise line, where you went, and your rating 1 through 10.
Exactly.
Let's hear it.
We got to get like a tip line for like Rhi here to just get like the information from y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get her like all set up on something like that. But anyway, this has been Damn That's Podcasting, random ass episode. I don't even know what number anymore. 35 maybe.
Are you that high? Jeez.
Yeah, 35 I think, maybe 34. I don't know. I'll have to do some research and see what number we are on. And I think we should do this again. I like doing podcasts with you.
Oh, I like doing podcasts with you too. I might be back on. I'll see if I can book it in my busy schedule in between my YouTube video watching research at night.
Right. Put down the vlogs, grab a microphone. Let's pod.
All right. Outro. 1, 2, 3. perfect day. A Coke, okay. A perfect day. A Coke, okay.
Oh, that was funny. Ow, why'd you hit me?
Stop it.
You want me to hit the stop button?